So it's time for another video, guys. And if you don't know by now, my name's Troy, I'm bold, and I collect watches. Today I'll be reviewing the Fraser & Co. Paragon. This has been passed over to me by Ted from Ted's Cornish Watch Reviews. I've linked down below his channel and his Instagram. He is one of my earliest supporters, so please go give him a subscribe. That would mean a hell of a lot. But why did I accept this one in for review? I couldn't help but being blown away by this dial. But we are moving ahead of ourselves, so let me tell you a little bit more about Fraser & Co. Fraser & Co. are an American-owned micro brand. They're a small brand offering at the time of filming 3 watch models: the Paragon that I have here today, the Estate, and the Visionary. I did my first Instagram post stating that this brand is a visionary in the watch game. But why would I say such a thing? Well, this young brand have made it their mission to give back to the community. For example, they're working with outreach programs for veterans. They're helping to combat homelessness, and they're also sponsoring medical treatments. Like my man Average Joe says, there's always time to be kind to one another, and it's kindness like this that will make this brand stand out from the rest. Cameron Fraser is the founder of Fraser & Co., and he puts it best when explaining what a watch actually is. He says, "It's a symbol of dedication. It has a story attached to it. It's more than just fashion. It's a reminder that your story matters." Fraser & Co. also offer a trade-up program. This brand knows that many of us watch collectors are on a journey. Some of us are serial flippers, and some more than others. Me, I tend to be a bit of a watch hoarder. But with this program, you can trade in your old Fraser timepiece for money off another Fraser & Co. timepiece. But how much is the Paragon going to cost you? The Paragon retails just under $300 at $289.99, but at the time of this review, I've seen it retail for $249. That's a substantial saving. I'm based here in the UK, so no doubt I'll expect some taxes. We hate those taxes, so please remember this if you're a UK buyer trying to pick yourself up a Paragon. And for me, this price is a little on the steep side. I don't know why. Personally, I'm reluctant to spend a lot of money on a quartz watch, but that is just me. But we're not talking any old quartz watch. This one has many complications. It's not just a standard 3-handed quartz. I doubt you'll see this for sale on your local high street, and because of this, I think it would make a great watch for someone as a gift. It's a real looker, and the package and presentation is on a whole different level. I do have to say the packaging is fantastic. Imagine opening up a present like this on Christmas Day, or if you're gifted this as a graduation present. It has a real wow factor. The watch comes in this outer cardboard box, and inside is where the fun begins. First, we have our owner's manual and instructions. We have a leather trunk style box, etched with the Fraser & Co. logo in gold, and when we unzip this, you'll be amazed with what comes inside. We obviously have our watch here, which comes on a soft cushion, our gold warranty card, which is made of real metal, this commemorative coin, which matches the dial of the watch, and I think maybe being able to customize this to a time and a date of significance would have been great. Say, for example, the birth of your child or the time and date of your wedding, and having it in solid silver would have made the inclusion of this coin extra special. We have a decorative mat that says "Purpose Driven," which seems to be the slogan of Fraser & Co. And behind that, we have a travel pouch, an extra strap, a strap removal tool, and a cleaning cloth. There's a lot of extras in here for sure, but has this taken away from the watch budget at all? Let's find out. We'll start with the measurements. The case measures in at 41.5mm, case including crown 45mm, case thickness is 9.7mm, lug to lug is 48mm, and the lug width is 22mm. So we have some pretty good proportions here, and the watch, I can say, wears really well on my 7-inch wrist. What do you think? The watch case is highly polished and is plated in a rose gold. We have deep chamfers to the lugs, and that's adding these gorgeous angles to the lugs. My concern with plating a watch case is the fact that it can wear very quickly, aging the look of the watch, so please remember this. The casing though is 316L stainless steel, so it will be pretty durable for a dress watch. The coin edge bezel I feel is a little bit unnecessary, but I can see why it has been included. It does reflect and bounce that light very well, but less is more, and a highly polished plain bezel, in my opinion, would have worked just as well. We move on to the case back, and this is top notch, guys. It's actually screwed onto the back, and the logo, it's aligned correctly. This is refreshing. You can tell this watch has been designed by a watch enthusiast. Having the case back screwed down will obviously help with its water resistance, and on this watch, it's set at 100 meters. Completely fine for this type of watch. And to be honest, there's more chance of dropping champagne on it than you will getting it down in the deep blue ocean. The logo is beautifully etched onto the stainless steel back, and we have the model name Paragon just above it. The crown has been done in a style which really does complement this watch. It's got a decent enough grip, and the tip of the crown has been styled with the Fraser logo. This inclusion is rather classy, and I have to say, it's a job well done. It's a push-pull crown, as you would expect. When you put it to its first position, you get your option to change your day or date. When I rotate the crown towards me, you'll see the day complication changes. And when I turn it in the opposite direction, you'll see the date complication changes. When I pull the crown to its second position, you will see I can now manually set the time. Inside this Paragon, you'll find the Miyota JR20, a multi-complication retrograde movement. The movement actually gives you a massive 3-year battery life. But what's so special about this movement? Well, when you look at the multiple dials, you'll find here at the 6 o'clock we have our day complication. This is done as a semicircle retrograde. The advantage of this function is that the watchmaker can have whatever feature they choose, and because the hand has the option to flick back, you do not need it to have to make a whole rotation. It's mostly found though to display the day of the week, and retrograde watches date all the way back to the 17th century. Of course, they would have been hand wound watches, but with the arrival of quartz, we can now have these functions at a fraction of the cost. The rest of the complications you'll find on this dial is the date wheel at 3 o'clock, and at the 9 o'clock we have our hour complication. This one currently shows you the hour of the day in a 24-hour format. All these subdials have been excellently crafted, and they catch and reflect the light so well. The day dial at the 6 o'clock looks like an oriental fan or even a peacock's train. It really is that beautiful. The rest of the dial face has a guilloche design, which works in conjunction with the subdials, and it has the Fraser logo applied at the 12 o'clock. Everything on this dial has been carried out and executed extremely well. My only criticism is I would have had the Fraser name printed on the dial in black. We have the applied Roman numerals for our indices. These are done in a rose gold to match the casing. The chapter ring is also the same color as the dial, and you'll see it has minute markers and numerals for every 5-minute increment. Talking of the dial color, I received the coral variant. This is more of an orange than a salmon dial. I would really have liked to have seen this as a salmon dial because salmon dials are so popular right now, and in particular, I really like salmon dials. It's a brave choice going for this orange, and not everyone's going to like it, but there are other colors in the range. But if you're after a statement piece to put on your wrist, this will certainly turn some heads, because this dial color, even though not for all, it's certainly on point. The hands are a perfect choice for this style of watch. The choice of alpha hands definitely complement this style. It's fitting for that retro dress watch vibe. All the hands have the inclusion of lume, which for a dressier watch is a great inclusion. The second hand is a Breguet style. This has no lume, which I think is a sensible choice because that would have covered more of the dial. Fraser have chosen to go with a flat piece of sapphire crystal. There doesn't seem to be any anti-reflective coating to it, but to be honest, because it's had an inclusion of a sapphire crystal, I think they've redeemed themselves. I did touch upon the loom earlier, and it is generous to have some loom on this style of watch, but is it up to scratch? Let's take a look and tell me what you think. The strap included is great. It's a crocodile style top grain premium leather strap. It's super soft and comfortable. The one it comes with is a light brown colour and has a beautiful deployant clasp. All the hardware matches the casing perfectly and is finished in this highly polished rose gold plating. I would really have loved to have seen this with a black strap. Because of the rose tones and this vivid dial colour, the black strap would have given more of an impact, but this brown works, maybe not as well as a black strap, but overall it still looks pretty good. The strap that it comes with two keepers. It tapers down just at the end of the strap, and honestly, this is a really comfortable strap. So I've told you a bit about the watch, and now I'm going to tell you what I rate and what I hate. So let's start off with what I hate. The dial colour. It's just not for me. It does its intended purposes of being a showstopper, but less orange and more pink would have been my choice. And also the logo on the top of the dial. It looks plain because the logo reflects the light and it seems sterile at the top. I have a Spinnaker watch that does exactly the same. Being black, it would have shown off that brand name, and it would have also have matched those black font on those subdials. I also have to mention, if you guys haven't picked it up already, the second hand is not hitting those markers. Now, not every watch wearer will notice this, and I'll be honest, I never did before I started this hobby and started watching a hell of a lot of YouTube. But someone into watches will know, and anyone with a YouTube channel will unfortunately have to bring this up. But what do I rate? Let's start with the brand. They do charity donations, outreach programs, and just the general mission behind the brand to give back to those people in need. It has to be commended. And this alone has to be why this brand is on your radar. This watch might not be for you, and the other ones in the collections might not be for you, but keep this brand on your radar because this young brand, I'm sure, will bring out many more styles. Another thing I rate has to be the dial. I know I said I hate it, but it goes in my rate column as well because the intricate styling and the color have been done fantastically. The dial work is mesmerizing to look at, and the color pulls no punches. Like I said, I would have preferred to have it more of a salmon color. I also like the strap very much. It wears tight, but not too tight. But it has this comfort to it, maybe due to this soft leather. It's a watch you could wear for hours, and honestly, you'll forget it's even on. And last but not least, the packaging. All I have to say is wow. I mean, you get so many extras, and you feel like you're getting great value for money. Overall, this is a good outing from such a young brand. They have a mission and they have a vision, and I'll certainly be intrigued to see what's next from Fraser & Co. And that's all for today, guys. Please remember, I'm an enthusiast and not an expert. If you've enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.